Hey there, I'm Nicole Dobransky. I'm a Beachbody coach who specializes in helping runners incorporate these programs into their training. And today I'm going to talk to you about LIIFT More and how this program can work for runners. I am now 2 weeks into this program while also training for a marathon. Yes, and I have some insights now that I have started doing the program that I want to share with you. First of all, this is an intense program. This is, I would say, an intermediate to advanced lifting program that I only recommend doing if you're a runner, if you also have experience doing weightlifting. If that's not you, I recommend just starting with LIIFT 4 and going from there. I found that LIIFT 4 was fairly manageable with the 4 workouts a week with my running. However, with LIIFT More, you may want to make a modification to the program. So I will go over that. But I want to reiterate, this is an intense program. So if you're combining this with your running in any capacity, whether you're using one of the 3 hybrid schedules that I've created or you're doing your own thing, I just really want to encourage you to take it seriously and take your recovery seriously. So you're going to want to make sure that you are taking Recover, which is our BCAA and protein post-workout drink. I would recommend taking that after every LIIFT More workout and every either speed, if you do a tempo run, and then definitely after a long run or any run where you're feeling depleted. There's been days when I've taken it 2 times in a day. I'll do a run in the morning and then I will do my leg day later in the afternoon, and I will take it both times. So I'm also make sure you're focusing on recovery, meaning that you are foam rolling, you are getting enough sleep, and just know that the number one thing you need to remember when you go into this program is you need to decide in advance what is your goal. Is your goal, for example, to train for a race while you are using this to supplement your race training and get stronger? Or are you going into this program being like, completing LIIFT 4 is my number one priority? Because those are 2 different goals. So there's been times I alternate between these 2. So right now I am training for a marathon and running is my number one priority. So for example, earlier this week, I found myself feeling really, really hungry and really tired and almost apathetic. I knew that was a sign that my body needed rest and that I had overdone it I tried to do 4 LIIFT More workouts last week, also while running almost 40 miles, including a 16-mile long run. That was too much, even for me, who is, I would say, an advanced runner and an advanced weightlifter. So I had to listen to my body, give myself some rest, and in that case, I knew that taking away the strength training was what I should do. I kept running because that's my number one goal. But if your number one goal is to do LIIFT More, for example, then you might choose to do the 5 workouts a week as the schedule is created, and then you might decide to run. But if you started to feel run down, the runs would be the first thing to go, right? Does that make sense? So you want to choose one priority. That's what I always encourage. And if weight loss is a priority, that's a whole nother thing. That's your nutrition. Speaking of nutrition, if you are following Portion Fix or even gut protocol for this program, I do not recommend, honestly, even if you're not running, that you go below bracket B, no matter what your current weight is or your goal. I personally think that you are going to need more fuel with Plan B. And remember that Recover is a free food, so it does not count as a red container. It just is immediately absorbed into your muscles, helps you recover, and it is actually going to prevent you from getting hangry later in the day if you're fueling well right after your run. So make sure you're taking Recover. If you're running with LIIFT More, I would not recommend you going any lower than Plan C, even if you have a weight loss goal. If you're doing LIIFT More and you're running, you need to fuel your muscles. If you're trying to lift weights, you can't create a massive calorie deficit. Otherwise, your muscles aren't going to grow as much. You're also not going to get those performance gains. So there's nothing, if you are eating on the food list and you're eating very clean, you're going to see aesthetic results even at a higher calorie, or higher amount of calories. Again, this is going to depend on your weight and how active you are, how much you're running and all of that. But if I'm your coach, I can help you figure that part out, as well as give you individual guidance and feedback as you're going through the program. So I hope that these tips for runners are helpful, and I don't want to intimidate you. I think this program is amazing. I'm absolutely loving it. I feel the way that it really is set up is to really maximize your weightlifting in each muscle group every time you work out. So I just did shoulders, and you literally feel like you can't do another rep. That's how intense it is. On that same note, It's okay as a runner to, especially for leg day, to not lift as heavy as you would if your goal was to gain muscle and you were just doing lift more. So you might lighten your weights a little bit. And another consideration is you might skip the HIIT component sometimes. This kind of just depends on my mood. I've done the HIIT component a few times, but I've also skipped it twice because I was feeling pretty depleted and I was doing upper body, and then the HIIT component was using my legs, and it was a recovery day. It's a day that I shouldn't be exhausting my legs, so I decided to skip it. And I'm still considering myself completing the program. So again, I will be doing it 3 lift workouts a week with my 5 runs a week. There's 2 schedule options that are include the 5 lift workouts, and there's 1 schedule option that includes 3 lift workouts a week, which extends the program to 13.5 weeks. But I think that you will find that you're still going to get great results even if you decide to extend it. So no shame in doing that. I hope this was helpful. If you want to do LIIFT More with me, or you want me to be your coach, if you're a runner who wants to incorporate this program, I have 2 options. I have a LIIFT More, Live More group that's going to be specifically for LIIFT More. And then I also have my fall run club. So if you're training for a half or full marathon, this is going to include LIIFT More schedule combined with a professional running plan created by a certified run coach. So that's going to include speed workouts, a long run schedule that's dedicated to your exact race date, and you're going to get guidance, support, so much, and an amazing community too. So if you're interested in either of those, you can fill out the forms below. And I hope that this was helpful either way. If you enjoyed it, please let me know, and thanks so much.